So out of the box or out of the wall or whatever you want to call it, we have Cha-Cha, Cha-Cha. Creed 2, I can't flip this one because I don't want to dent the steelbook. It's already been dent by, through the shipping. But anyway, Creed 2, duh. I think this came out in 2017 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. I actually don't really care the year it came out. But anyway, who's coming back from the past in this one? It's actually, Dolph Lundgren, Drago, who, killed Apollo Creed. So we have some big stakes in this movie. Or do we? Creed 2, is it a 1-2 horrible punch knockout? Let's find out. Chase, we like to hear the Blue Futon reviewing Creed 2. And you know why we're directing this movie. I'm not directing this movie. The guy who's directed this movie is doing the new Transformers movie. So I'm very interested in that. But Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, Dolph Lundgren, they are back. Because you know what? Russia has completely disowned Drago, whatever you want to say his name is. I'm horrible with Russian words or symbols you want to call it, hieroglyphics, whatever the shenanigans is. Anyway, since those 80s, man, he's out of there. I'm surprised he's not dead, because if he's on a hockey team, he would be completely dead. Well, actually, he's not even in Russia anymore. He's in Ukraine. So, world events right now. Anyway, we're, strings are going everywhere. But he wants that power back to be back in the motherland of Russia. The Russians. But you know what? John Wick is coming back. Actually, that's the wrong movie. Sylvester Stallone and Creed is coming back to, you know what? Are you going to actually get your status back in Russia? Or are we going to destroy you on your home turf? So, do you like this film? I thought it was a pretty good film. Is it as good as the first one? No. You can totally tell when I watch this movie back to back. There are some different styles. And you're just like, I don't know why we decided to go that route. Or this feels rushed and this feels rushed. But it is overall a good sports movie. So, what's good about this film? I do think the story kind of advancing the Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan's kid's storyline is a really good thing to push over to the third movie. It truly is. I think adding more screen time for the mother of, Creed is a fantastic job. We needed more in. She needed to be more in the first movie. Let's be honest with that. The Sylvester Stallone storyline still works with the cancer battle, even though the whole cancer storyline kind of went on the wayside. I feel like it could have been brought up a little bit more in this movie. Like, oh, his cancer's free and gone. Pretty simple. But, cancer, sometimes it's that simple, sometimes it's not. But let's continue on. I do think the look of the movie is good. I do think the overall action. But then it's also one of those things where you watch this movie and you know how big Draco's son is compared to Michael B. Jordan by, I want to say 5 inches. And the reach is probably a lot better for him. His size is a lot better. So it's one of those movies also where you see him and you're like, I really don't think Michael B. Jordan could win this fight on any level. Maybe on the mat with UFC, but in the boxing ring, it's going to be extremely hard, and you have to take that disbelief out of it. But I do think the overall story with this, the acting, the way the movie looks, is really, really good. Even though everything about this movie does feel like a downgrade from the first Creed. When looking at things that are the most downgraded, I think it is the montages and how the fights are actually shown. So let's go with the montage first. So the main point of this montage is, Creed gets down. He's effed up completely. Now he has to go to this, I want to say, Tijuana outdoor gym. And that doesn't really make sense because from the first movie, Creed has gone to Tijuana, Mexico to, fight and get, 16-0 in Tijuana, Mexico. But now he's going to Mexico to this, the longest yard style of prison workout montage. And this workout montage just didn't feel right, if you want to put it that way. At least the first movie, you were in Philly. You had the whole Rocky element to it. It just felt nitty gritty. This felt like Rambo-esque. Sylvester Stallone was in this, hey, I'm going to make a Rambo movie here too. So, hey, if I'm here, you should film this as well. Even though that probably never happened. But that's what it felt like in that montage scene of him getting back together. Yeah, it's cool. And you're like, damn, you're doing some hard work. But it didn't have the 1-2 punch I wanted from a montage scene. Also, how this movie was shot when it comes to the fighting. You can just tell Ryan Coogler knew how to get in the battle more. There was a lot more just flow and no cuts in the first movie. In this one, it felt like there was more cuts in the fight, and you did feel it. Because I remember there was this like no cut fight for like 3 minutes in the first Creed, and you're just like, when are they going to cut this? And it doesn't cut. You're like, okay, a minute passed. Michael B. Jordan is still getting his shit rocked, and so is the opponent. A minute and a half passed. There has still not been a cut. This is no cut whatsoever. But with Creed 2, you do feel the cuts here and there throughout all the fights. And even though you do feel the punches, you're like, damn, that shit hurt. That shit hurt. But you don't have the John Wick or the original Creed just like long take. The wide shot long takes aren't as prominent here as they are in the first movie. Also, with the second movie, it felt like the Tessa Thompson character was put on the back burner. And when I say that, because how the movie started was like she wants to go to LA, get a contract, do more concerts. But then, she gets pregnant, that happens, and then the final battle happens. You feel like her storyline is like, can we see how her singing career is going in LA? Maybe we'll see in the third movie. I don't know. But is this Creed 2 a bad movie? Absolutely not. Is it as good as the first one? It's hard to say if anything from this one is as good as the first one. But it is a solid, interesting premise to bring Dolph Lundgren back into this storyline, even though I feel like it could have been a little bit more just oh shit moments. And the oh shit moments were there, but they were kind of unbelievable just looking at the size, the magnitude, and just like, could this actually really occur? But Creed 2 still looks great. It's acted well. It's paced well. And when the boxing does happen, you are extremely, extremely entertained. So Creed 2 will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 70%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have critics at 83% with 312 of them. Audience score 80% with over 5,000. Critic consensus. Creed 2's adherence to franchise formula adds up to the sequel with few true surprises, but its time-tested generational themes still pack a solid punch. I actually do wish at the very end there was a Rocky Drago, confrontation or at least a handshake, but that never occurred. It is what it is. 80, 70, 83. Chase out with the Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. We know things Butantopia. You Butonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And you know what the next review is. Actually, you might not know because when will the Creed 3 review come out? I don't know. I don't know. So I might see it Wednesday or Thursday. I still haven't decided yet. It also makes me like, I need to get stronger. I'm a weakling. I'm a weakling.